Hi everyone! In this video, I want to show you how to use GeoGebra to graph parametric curves in three-dimensional. Okay, so first of all, we want to download GeoGebra Class 6 and launch it. So on the right upper corner, we can choose to have 3D graphics. So on the view, you can choose to have the 3D graphic, and because we want to draw vectors, so let's show the 3D graphics. Okay, so this is our picture, and we want to define the coordinate functions. So on the inputs here, we want to define, let's say, f of t equals 2 cosine t, and g of t, the second coordinate, equals 3 sine t, and h of t equals 0.5 of t. Okay, so now we have three functions. Okay, so how do we input parametric curve? So here we input curve. So you can see expression, parameter, variable, start value. So because we're doing three-dimensional, so we click the second option. So we have three expressions. So first expression is f of t. And next we have g of t, h of t, and t is a variable. Start value, let's t start from 0 and let end at 4 pi. Okay, so this is the picture. Okay, we can always right click and choose the setting to change the color. So let me see. I want my color. How about pink? My daughter loves pinks. Okay, so my daughter loves pink. And we can move this around and see it. So I can also deselect those functions, and then you can see this is a 3D curve we get. Okay, so next, now let's create a point which walks along the curve. So here we need the slider option, but however, the 3D graphic won't give us this option. So let's right click and show the graphics. So after you click here, you see we have three windows. So the left one is the algebra, the middle one is the graphics, and the right is the 3D graphic. So, and then we click the middle one, we're able to see the slider option. So we click the slider and we click anywhere in the middle. Okay, then because it's asking you where do you want to have your slider at, so we click the center window anywhere. So let's call it B. So B is the point moves. So we want to define the values from 0 to 4 pi. So increments, let's do 0.01. Okay. So this is a slider B. And then how do we build this points? So we enter let's call it A. So A is, we see the curve is small a. So small a, evaluate. We plug in t equals to b. So enter. Then you can see we have the point A. Okay, can you see this point A? Let me change the color, so I can change the color to how about blue? Okay, so now it's more obvious here. Okay, so we have the point A there. So now you can see when the slider moves. So when the slider moves, I can have my points moving on the curve until it reaches 4 pi. Right? So right now I don't need the center window. So let me deselect it. So we only need it to be our slider. So okay, now we can deselect. And when the slider, we can have the point goes around the curve. Okay, next we want to draw a tangent vector at the point A. So how do we do that? Here input, we want to have v equals vector. So vector, we want to have the starting points and the end points. So what is the start point? Well, the start point is at the point A. So we have point A is small a of B. And the endpoint, well, the endpoint is we have the same point B, but we add, what do we add? We add the vector. So the vector is the derivative of A evaluated at point B. Okay, so that the vector we know velocity is the derivative of displacement, right? Okay, so this is the tangent vector. And we can have the A goes around. Okay, this is a tangent vector V. We can also change its color. So let's change to green. How about green? Okay, so that is our tangent vector. Next, how do we build a unit tangent vector? So unit tangent vector, let's call it T. T is the vector. We have starting point and end point. Start point is also the point A, so A of B. That's point A. By the way, you want to have the start point is AB and the end point is AB. So A of B, the point A plus the magnitude of the vector. Okay. Because if you don't do that, then your vector is gonna end up at the origin, start at the origin, not at the point A. Okay, so this is A of B. And we want to have a unit tangent vector, right? So that's why we want to have the unit vector. So here we have this option, unit vector. Okay, so unit vector of which vector? So the vector is A prime of B. So that's the derivative of the curve A of B. Okay, so unit vector will actually give us the unit tangent vector. Okay, so now I can deselect the V, and now you can see the unit tangent vector. Okay, so this is the T, the unit tangent vector. We can change its color. What color do you want? How about purple? Okay. Okay, so we have the unit tangent vector. So next, how do we draw a principal unit normal vector? Well, these require more work. Okay, so first of all, we want to, the vector V and T are fixed vector at point A, and they are not function of T. Okay, so in order to define the principal unit normal vector, we need to first define the function. So T prime of T, so the derivative of the unit tangent vector. Okay, so how do we do that? Yes, so you can see V and T, they are fixed vector. When B goes, it moves around, but for a fixed number of V and T is just a fixed vector. Okay, and here we want to, in order to find the unit, the principal unit normal vector, we need a function of T, a vector function. Okay, so not a fixed vector. So first of all, let's input capital D of T. So this is gonna be the square root. So square root of f prime square, so f prime of T square plus g prime of T square plus h prime of T square. Okay, so this guy is gonna be the speed, which is the length of the velocity vector. Okay, the tangent vector. Okay, the length of the tangent vector, A prime of T. Now, let's find the coordinate function of the unit tangent vector. So the unit tangent vector, our coordinate function is, so let's call it TF of T is gonna be F prime of T divided by D of T. Okay, So this is the x-coordinates of the unit tangent vector. And then let's call TG of t be g prime of t divided by d of t. Okay, so this is going to be the y coordinates of the unit tangent vector. And then next we have th of t equals h prime of t d of t. This is the z coordinates of the unit tangent vector. All right. So now we can define. Okay, so we're ready to define our t prime. So input t prime. Okay, so t prime equals, so this is the derivative of t, the derivative of the unit tangent vector at point A. So it's going to be the vector start point is the point A, so A of B. Okay, and endpoint is A of B plus, what's the vector? Well, the vector, we have 3 coordinates. We have t f prime. So because we're taking the derivative of the unit tangent vector, so that's why we have t f prime of b, evaluate at b. And we have t g prime of t and th prime of t. Oh, sorry, of b. We want to evaluate at the point B. Okay. See, this is actually the derivative of the unit tangent vector at the point A. Okay, but the principal the principal normal vector is gonna be a unit vector. Okay, so that's why here. And finally, n is vector. Start point is A of B, and then plus the unit vector. So unit vector of our vector t prime. Okay, so now you can see n is going to be a unit vector. Okay, so n is the principal normal vector. And let's deselect t prime and let's give it a color. So what color do you want? How about orange? Okay, so you can see we get the unit tangent vector and the principal normal vector here. Okay, so next, how do we share this project? Okay, so here on the right upper corner, we see the 3 horizontal lines. We click here and click Files, and we click Save. So here, when you click Save, it asks you to log in. So you can log in. With your Google account, and then after you log in, you can choose to save. So make sure you choose the shared options, then you can share your project to public. Anyone with the link can see it. Okay, so this is Calculus 3. And we have use GeoGebra to draw parametric curves. Okay, so save. Saving. Shared. Yes, then we get a link. So copy that link and go to any web browser. Then you can see our projects. See, when we let B goes around, you can see we have the unit tangent vector and the principal unit normal vector. They are always orthogonal to each other, and they are unit vectors. Okay. And yes, we can play around with it. And furthermore, we can also change the functions. Okay, so we can change our function to be any other function. So we can, let's change this to 5 and see what happens. Oh, so this is what it looks like. Okay, you can also change it to different kind of stuff. If I add a t here, what's gonna happen? Let's see. Oh, okay. So, all right. Yeah, so we can play around with it. And, oh, interesting. Okay, so this is how we can draw graph parametric curves and then show their vector, tangent vector, unit tangent vector, and the principal's unit normal vector. Okay, on the curve. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.